Getting to a point where how many seasons can go on like this? Like, is this our last season of Love is Blind? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rose. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Love is Blind Season 7, Episode 7 through 9. If you haven't already, go ahead and watch my other videos where I met the cast and we talked about Episode 1 through 6. Y'all, this season so far has just been embarrassing. The casting crew should be embarrassed the same way they should have been embarrassed last season and the season before that, because this is just so crazy how these people are treating this experiment. It's literally sad. It's devastating as a viewer because I want to see people fall in love. I want another Brett and Tiffany, and I can't get that because we have just mess coming on the show. Like, why aren't we vetting these people the way that they're supposed to be vetted? Like, it's getting to a point where how many seasons can go on like this? Like, is this our last season of Love is Blind? Episode 7 starts off with the couples in Cabo just relaxing. We see Hannah and Nick, which they are talking about how they both can improve in the relationship. And let's just say that these are literally two kids that are talking to each other, okay? They swear they're both mature, but it's like y'all both got issues. And honestly, y'all both don't need to be together. But that's just my opinion. Next, we see Garrett and Taylor. Y'all, do y'all see Garrett? Like, Garrett is like a very handsome dude. Like, he is not bad looking at all. We see Marissa and Rance. I don't know what to call this man. We see Marissa and Rams, and she is bragging about how she was in the military and how she could like literally drive a boat that can kill people. And they actually get more into her being in the military later on, which is a very interesting perspective that I want to talk to you guys about. But we're going to get into that when we get into that, okay? Now, Alexandra and Tim obviously did not have the best experience because they ended off episode 6 with kind of like a fight that went overboard. And y'all know I was getting on Alexandra. I was like, this girl is toxic, this girl is this girl is that. And I still stand by, you know, Shawty might be a little toxic, but I do think that I was kind of being harsh on her just a little bit, because throughout these episodes they do end up being like one of my favorite couples, and I kind of appreciate the way she's handling the situation. I do think she's kind of realizing that Tim is just not that guy. Like, you're not gonna mess with Tim and think you're gonna get away with it. You're gonna lose Tim if you keep acting crazy, okay? Now we move on to the couples and their excursion, and we first off have Tyler and Ashley. Now, when it comes to Tyler and Ashley, I get so mad every time, because if you know what's going on outside of Love is Blind and the social medias and TikTok, Tyler is really not who he portrays himself to be. He's really a snake in disguise. And although I don't want to speak too soon because we don't know the actual facts, he hasn't denied or owned up to anything. But this man has a lot going on in his life, and Ashley is just getting thrown into it. So talking about them two, even though as we're watching it, they look like the perfect couple, it's really devastating because this man is just fake. Oh my gosh, y'all. Like, just seeing it right now, I'm watching it as I'm talking to you. It's so fake and it's so rude that he put her through this, and I'm just so over it. I don't even know if I want to talk about them two, to be honest. Like, because it's just, it's not real. And y'all know, like, I watch this show to see people fall in love, like, genuinely. And to see my girl actually getting played like this, Ashley is too beautiful, and she's getting played like this. It's just crazy. I just hope that she doesn't say yes at the altar. That's all I'm gonna say. Hannah and Nick went bungee jumping, which was kind of nice. I think that's a great thing to do in Cabo. Like, if you want to go bungee jumping, skydiving, or anything like that, it's great to do it in a tropical place, because why not? Like, people be doing it in Miami. I'm just like, what are you doing? Miami? Like, let's be so for real. Garrett and Taylor went to this place where they molded like a fish from glass, because if y'all don't know, Garrett is really into fishing. And I thought that was a nice date. It's kind of sentimental. I don't know if she planned it or if he planned it. I don't know if the producers planned it, but I think it was very nice for them to do together. And you could tell, like, he appreciated the gift so much. Like, he really loved that they went to do this. Now, moving forward to Steven and Monica. Monica said, hey, I got something I need to tell you, and it's been bothering me. And basically, she wanted to express the fact that Steven talked about doing certain things, I guess, while they were in the pods. And coming out the pods, he hasn't done one of these things. And although, like, a lot of people say, like, Monica's being a little bit materialistic, I personally think that she is very valid for bringing up the situation, because hey, if you told me you're gonna do something, or if you gave me the impression that I'm gonna be living this certain lifestyle with you, I expect it as soon as I come out the pods. Granted, they are in Cabo, they're not living their regular life. I wish that she waited to see how he was gonna be outside of Cabo. I think that she is very much in the right to bring that up to him and say, hey, I expected this from you and I haven't gotten it. And a part of me do feel like she's just doing a little too much. But that's just how Monica is. She's just that girl. She always gave that girl, you know, like she always gave that type of woman. Again, I don't think they have anything in common. I don't think they have any sparks together. I think she's actually forcing to like him, especially in the last episode when she was telling this man to basically shut up. But since she want to fool herself in thinking that she's in love, I'm gonna just play along with her, okay? Steven, on the other hand, was looking like he was about to cry, okay? He was so stressed that he was about to shed a couple of tears, because ain't no way this woman is asking me to get her flowers right now. But over and all, I think they ended that conversation the best way that they knew how, okay? And I hope that Steven gets her some flowers. Alex and Tim went on their excursion, and they drove an ATV and they went over the bridge, which I think was kind of significant to them getting over their problems. And they also had a nice conversation about the future of their relationship and what they want from each other. And I thought, again, this girl wants to keep this man, and I appreciate that. She's not gonna act crazy no more, right, Alex? This is a great example of like when a crazy girl, because I was a toxic girl, you know, and I found a good man and he put me in my place, and he's like, listen, I'm not gonna go for this childish stuff. It's either we're a team or we're not together. And I was like, okay. Now the couples are meeting up and they're just talking and chatting. And again, we see Alex telling the girls about the situation. And y'all see what I'm talking about. Like, she knew this man is a good man. She's like, I don't have this man's number. I don't know who he is. He's never going to talk to me. I don't want him to leave. I'm telling you right now, if you are a toxic girl and you had a good man on your side and you just knew this was a good man, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want this man to leave just because you put a little hands on him. I know I'm talking very highly of Tim, but Tim hasn't done anything to piss me off yet. So I'm actually really enjoying Tim. I'm really liking him. In the middle of them talking about the whole situation with Alex and Tim, the fireworks goes off, and then the girls scatter. They pick up their man. They're like, hey, let's go, babe. Let's go see the fireworks. Let's have a romantic session. And the ones who stay behind is Steven. This is so funny. Steven stayed behind to talk to Garrett. Now, I don't know if Taylor really cared if Garrett was there, but as you can see, like, all the couples are together. They're just, like, enjoying the moment. It's very romantic. It's very nice. But when Monica comes back, Monica just acts so petty. Y'all. Y'all. Wait.
Oh, that's so romantic out there. Thank you so much for the romance.
I'm sorry.
And then Steven wanted to smooth things over and got her some water. And he got her sparkling water. And that girl does not like sparkling water. And then this is where it got really weird with Steven, because I actually kind of like Steven before this. Steven started talking about how he was talking with Garrett and blah, blah. Then he started talking about, I guess, how after this experiment, people are going to be talking to him. Girls are going to be wanting to give him fellatio. Can you believe this, man? And Monica's just like sitting there like, what are we talking about right now? When did we get to this topic? I think everybody who was watching this part said the same thing, like, what? It's not even funny. What are we talking about, Steven? Where did we get here? That's when I literally wrote it down. I was like, Steven might be kind of dumb. Like they say, I kind of got the ick when he started almost crying when this woman was talking about getting some flowers. But the fact that he sat there next to this girl and brought up something so absurd is ridiculous. And I don't know, like that was a red flag. Now the couples are getting ready to move forward and go to the real world. Garrett and Taylor talk about Instagram and how they're excited to see each other's Instagram. Then we see Nick and Hannah, and they're talking about living together. Hannah is so passive aggressive with how she talks to Nick. Next house we go into is Steven and Monica, and she's still talking about flowers, y'all. Tim and Alexandra. Tim is a clean dude, and I think that kind of intimidated Alex a little bit, because she knows she's not on his level. That tidiness is like a level 2. And she said that before. She was like, yo, like, yeah, you're definitely way more clean than me. Now we are seeing Tyler and Ashley. They are praying. And this is so sad because this is a dynamic we haven't seen on Love is Blind ever. And it's just upsetting me and my homegirls because why are you like this, Tyler? Like, what made you like this? You're literally so rude and so ugly and so, like, you didn't have to do this. All of this didn't have to be done. Now moving on to Rams and Marissa. They are literally so cute together. I like them together. I don't really have anything to say about them. I think their conversations are very deep. As far as like how they want to live with each other, which is something that we can talk about in the comments down below in the next couple of episodes. But as far as them moving in, they look very comfortable, they look very cozy, and I like that for them. The first parent meetup is going to be Garrett and Taylor. And Taylor is actually going to meet Garrett's parents. A lot of the parents did not want to be on camera this season, rightfully so. I don't even blame y'all. But they do say that they are very supportive. They just don't want to be on camera. They don't want people in their house. They just don't want none of that problems, okay? When it came to this meetup, 3 things that I did want to point out is that while Garrett comes from a loving family, you could tell like his mom really cares about him. And I think a lot of the sadness comes around the fact that he is thinking about moving away. I don't think the mom has any hatreds towards Taylor. I don't think that she doesn't like Taylor. I didn't get that vibe. I just feel like she is feeling the weight of this experiment, and it's just a lot, you know, to take in as a mom. But at the same time, your son is in his 30s. Like, he can make decisions for himself. Like, he will be okay. She was very emotional. I think she could have been a little bit more supportive. I do understand seeing your kids go through something that is so fast, so serious, so deep. I think Taylor handled herself very well. I think she spoke honest with the parents. Like, it wasn't like she was promising anything outrageous. She just said, yo, I love your son. I fell in love with him sight unseen. I fell in love with him for the person that he is, which I give all the credit to you guys, because coming here, I see like the energy that he gives to me is from you guys, and I love him more because of that. I think she handled herself very well. And the way Garrett was speaking about her was very refreshing as well. Like, now getting to Rams and Marissa's heated conversation, which was about the military. Grew up on a base, so I think she saw a lot of the military very young. But he did say that he doesn't want to be with her or sees himself with her if she does go back and join the military. I think that's just something that she has to put into account if she wants to be with this man, because he seems very firm of what he says. Like, and you'll see that throughout the episodes. They also talk about religion, and I think neither of them are big on religion, which I think is a very interesting topic. So please comment down below. Now moving on to episode 8, we start off with Tyler and Ashley. Every time I say Tyler's name and I say Ashley's name, I'm so upset. But they are sitting down talking about kids. Whew, Jesus, yo, this is so crazy. This man is literally so unhinged. And I want y'all to peep, this man's job title has changed 3 times since the season started. Steven has finally taken Monica to the flower shop, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna get you some forever flower so I don't have to buy you flowers ever again, okay? He took him to the shop, and they made like this glass thing where They put the flowers on there, and it's supposedly supposed to last forever. When me and my husband was watching this, he was actually like, yo, he did that. That was good. And I guess he did that. This is really cute. But at the end of the day, Monica's gonna still want some more flowers, okay? This ain't gonna be it. You're not gonna be able to walk through them doors with that thing and think she's gonna be impressed. No, she wants a bouquet of flowers. Next up, we see Nick and Hannah. Nick does live with his parents. Now, this is a controversial topic. I believe, like, you can't be on Love is Blind and you live with your parents. That's absolutely unacceptable. Let's be so for real. Nothing wrong with living with your parents, especially if you are not married, if you are under 30. You know, you're trying to get on your feet. Like, it's not like you're being lazy. But to go on Love is Blind, seeking for a wife, and you live in your parents' basement, no, that's kind of crazy. Am I wrong? Comment down below if I'm wrong, because that's insane. Like, you should not be looking for a wife. You should be looking for a stable income so that you can move out of there. It's not like you're dating around. You went on a show knowing that you're gonna end up married. What if Hannah didn't have her own house? What were you gonna do then? Like, what was the plan? I don't understand. So yeah, I don't like that he lives in his parents' basement. Ridiculous. Like, it's so I'm telling you, both of them are the problem, okay? It's not even, they're both winning at being the problem. Next scene, we have Rams meeting Marissa's friends, and I don't know why this is a topic in front of their friends, but they talk about their troubles with the whole military topic. I don't know why that was brought up, but really crazy to bring that up with your friends, because both of them were in the military, so they stand very strong with, you know, being for the troops. So you're the only one arguing for yourself. And granted, he did mention that he's from Venezuela, which has like a rocky relationship with the United States. But like, let's be honest, what country doesn't have a rocky relationship with the United States? I don't think this topic should have been talked about in front of her friends. It should have been just something that they kept together in private, because it's not like they're gonna break up because she's not going back to the military. So what's the point of bringing that up? They did talk about having kids and how that will go if their kid wanted to go in the military. And you don't know about these things until it happens. You don't know how firm you are about these things when it comes to your child until you have a child, you know? So, I don't know. That was so weird. Now, moving on to my favorite part of these 3 episodes, when Tim is meeting Alex's family, especially her dad. They talked about so many things that they're similar at, like going to the military, golfing, and I think because he was born in England, that was another point for him. I am so happy for Alex. I am so happy for Tim, because I am so like giddy about this relationship right now. I was really gonna get on Alex being toxic and being not good for Tim, but I'm so glad that they worked it out. He ended up reading a note that he gave to Alex while they were in the pod that was for her father, and that made him tear up. Which also, he was serving them some food. Like, he did not do anything wrong. He was so respectful. He was so nice. He was so happy to be there. The only thing that really makes me mad throughout this whole scene, Alex's dad and her 2 brothers had a bunch of crumbs on their shirts. That made me so upset, but it's whatever. I still think that the whole interaction was really, really sweet. Now, Garrett and Taylor are finally seeing Taylor's place. Taylor is like, Taylor is such a dude, honestly. So Taylor does not have any food in her refrigerator. Taylor is giving smart Brittany, okay? Taylor and Garrett sat down and talked about moving to San Diego, because I think they live in Washington, D.C. So she does want to move to San Diego, and Garrett is all game for it. He knows that it will put like a banter with his family and they won't like it. But again, this man is a grown man. Like, he could do that. Now, Steven, this is your 3rd red flag. 3rd. Steven ended up talking about how he lost his job out of nowhere on the show. And he was shook. And the way Monica handled it, this is how I know this girl doesn't like this man, but she just want to be married. She just said, I'm gonna take care of you. I'll be your sugar mama. And in my head, I thought electricians was like freelancing. If you don't have a job or you don't have a company, you can definitely put out an ad. You could definitely go to work. You can find some jobs, okay? Find some jobs right now, Steven. This conversation kind of escalated to them talking about a bunch of sexual stuff. And Steven talked about if he had a woman's part, how he would feel. Again, it literally took a left turn, and you really had to ask yourself, how did we get here? When did we arrive here, Steven? Like, what did I say to make you think that talking like this was okay? He just got really crazy, and he just started talking sexual. And you know, at that moment, I really felt like this man has a kink. This man is a freak. Monica's face was really funny because this is her every time she talks to this man. Confused. Moving on to Nick and Hannah, they are at Hannah's spot and they're talking about finances, who's going to handle what. Again, this conversation is very much them beating on each other and throwing shots at one another. I don't know what Hannah's doing here. I don't know what Hannah's doing here. I don't know what Nick is doing here. They're literally both a problematic person, and together they are a problematic couple. Especially when Hannah has so much more baggage than Nick does coming into the relationship. Yes, Nick doesn't have a place to stay, but Hannah talks about how she quit her job to be on this show, which is a crazy idea. So her putting her expectation on Nick, who literally doesn't do anything because he lives in his parents' house, Hannah is definitely asking to be disappointed. Like, you're gonna be disappointed, sis. Like, no matter what. I don't think Nick is the man for you. Let's just leave it at that. We gotta talk about Tyler and Ashley. Let's just talk about Ashley's dad, okay? Ashley's dad has to be Haitian, or he's from the islands, definitely, because this man did not come to play. When him and Tyler shook hands, I was like, baby, y'all can go toe-to-toe, okay? Y'all go toe-to-toe right now. So basically, Tyler and Ashley goes to be Ashley's dad, who is a handsome Haitian man. I know he's Haitian. I know. I can just feel the Haitian. And if he's not Haitian, let me know what he is. I'm kind of upset that no one can sense Tyler's BS. I don't know if he's that good or if it's because he's light-skinned. But this man is just fooling everybody and their mama. The setup was actually really good. The dad really likes Tyler and even gave him his blessing. But he did say, if he messes up, he gonna have to see about me. And I can't wait till he sees about you, sir. I cannot wait till he sees about you. Now, this is the most depressing and saddest part of the whole episode because it does deal with Steven and Monica. Steven and Monica are going through some troubles. I'm sorry. Now, you guys can call this a blessing in disguise. You guys can call this whatever you want. But I'm going to just say this is God working in mysterious ways, okay? Because we all know Monica would have said yes to this man. Monica would have said yes to this struggling man, okay? So Monica, I don't know if she went through his phone, but she saw messages of him talking to a girl. And again, the messages was disturbing. And I think that this whole conversation, if you haven't already, go ahead and watch it. It was very telling of who Steven was. This man had to come here to scam whoever he was with. Because the way he was moving on the show was giving very much scammer. Like, losing his job, wanting to have intercourse a certain way. It's just, wow. Like, what do y'all get coming on this show? Is it... like, do you want fame? Like, what do you want? This is Love is Blind. You're getting married. He was sending really freaky messages to another woman. He claimed that he was at a sleep test. We all know that probably was a lie. But one thing I'll say, Monica, is that this man told you what kind of man he was. In the pause, he told you, I identify as a cheater. I identify as a cheater. So they ended the relationship right then and there. And a lot of people ask, do you think Steven was looking for a way out? Did he want to break up with Monica and just couldn't do it? Or if he is a cheater and he just couldn't resist himself, like if he just wasn't disciplined. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now moving on to the 9th episode, which is the last episode for this week. We start off with Tyler and Ashley. And you know what's so funny? They're talking about kids. That's what's hilarious to me. That's what's making me chuckle right now, is that this man, I think the last 2 episodes they were talking about kids also. What are you guys doing in casting? Like, what are you guys looking for? Like, what's the process? I need a season where they are just showing us the process of them casting. So they're sitting down talking about kids, how many kids they want, the names of the kids, blah, blah, blah. Okay, next. Nick and Hannah are cooking because Nick is going to meet Hannah's brother. And, oh my gosh, Nick. It's like, I can't. Nick goes and looks for the pasta in the refrigerator. I can understand how that can be very irritating for Hannah. I really can't understand. And this is why y'all just don't need to be getting married. Nick don't need to be getting married. Hannah don't need to be getting married. Okay? And they don't need to be getting married to each other. Hannah's brother and Nick was agreeing on the type of demeanor and attitude that Hannah has, which is very mean, very aggressive, and I thought that was funny because they were literally laughing at her. And like I said, Nick is gonna give it back to you. Nick said, "Oh, but you're unemployed." Catch that, Hannah. Catch that, Hannah. They were just like going back. They were just going back and forth with each other in front of the brother. Like, that's all I saw during this scene. It was just a lot of tit for tat, you know? Next up, we did have Garrett and Taylor. And I think most of all, they were just talking about the whole situation with Monica and also, again, moving to San Diego. This is the only dilemma that this couple has, which is refreshing because I don't think they have anything else to talk about that's bad. They're kind of still trying to get to know each other, trying to see how they like each other, and so far so good. I think they're really enjoying each other and being in each other's space. Like, they are on a date. I haven't seen any other couple really go on a date. So I think this is a good sign that they are out and about. They're seeing the world together. I really like that for them. They also talk about his parents' feeling about him moving to San Diego, which, again, how do we feel about this? This man is a grown man. He could do that if he wants to, mom and dad, he could do that. So I don't think there's anything to talk about. If he wants to move, he's going to move, okay? Now we have Ranson and Marissa. And Ranson is going to meet Marissa's mom. This whole meetup was honestly crazy because Marissa's mom is so mean. Like, she's literally tough. And I get it. You got to be tough for sure. But this is one of those parents that you don't need to put on TV because they're different, because they are so unhinged. She was definitely on his butt about everything. Not going to school, about getting a prenup, which I think everyone should be getting a prenup on Love is Blind. I don't think, when did a prenup first introduce itself? I feel like that should be a normal thing. That should be just like part of the contract, is that you get a prenup when you're on the show, right? Right? Is that not part of the contract? Can we make it part of the contract, please? I think he did great overall with the siblings. It's just the mom was really giving him a hard time. She was really harsh on Buddy. Like, she was really, really harsh on Buddy. Now it's time to meet Hannah's parents. Nick was very excited to meet Hannah's parents. And I actually love Hannah's parents. I think they're pretty cool. I don't want to say they're just like Hannah, but they gonna give it back to Hannah every time, okay? When Nick left the table, they expressed that they actually like him. that it's ultimately her choice. She wanted them to grill him for whatever reason, but they didn't. Like, they were just like, bro, chill. Do you like this man or not? Because if you don't like him, just don't be with him. Why you want us to grill him? Hannah does not like Nick, and Nick does not like Hannah. Now moving on to Tim and Alex. Tim went over to go see Alex's place, and Alex's place wasn't the best, you know? She said that she was packing up to go to the show, and she didn't know what to wear. Now, I don't know, sis, like, you know they were gonna come to your house, right? Right? Okay. And you could tell Tim was probably, like, overwhelmed, because I think Tim is one of those people, especially being in the military, you kind of do have, like, a thing for cleanliness and things being in their place, being organized. So I can understand, I can see him freaking out, you know, while he was at her place. Garrett went to go meet Taylor's friends, and I love how diverse Taylor's friends are. Garrett did very well meeting up with them, like we know he would, okay? Next up, we have Rams and Marissa, and they're sitting on the couch, and they're just talking about what they want. They're just talking about when they want kids. And I think Marissa talked about wanting kids in about 2 to 3 years, and Rams was not having it. Rams was saying that the time is too short for them to have kids, and the conversation of birth control comes up, or condoms comes up. And I think this is a great conversation. I don't know about y'all, but these two have great conversations, okay? Like, they have great topics. They have great conversation that people can talk about. So basically, Rams was like, listen, I don't want to wear condoms. And she was like, listen, I don't want to go on birth control. Now, this is a dynamic where I felt like they just need to call it quits, because like this is going to be making, either way, somebody's going to be unhappy in this situation. Like, you don't want to protect yourself from having kids, and this girl don't want to ruin her body to prevent from having kids. And it doesn't look like any of them wants to compromise on this topic. I think seeing Marissa's mom makes me see how much of a strong girl that she is. I don't think she'll compromise. But Rams is also one of them dudes, like, what he says goes, and that's that on that on that. So I don't see him compromising either. And I think this is the first time I'm like, okay, y'all probably just don't need to be together. It made me think about Bohan, because I'm starting to think, like, even with the military conversation, this conversation, why didn't you pick Bohan? Like, maybe having, you know, so much in common with somebody is a good sign, you know? Hannah is going to meet Nick's family. This whole meetup was so cute. Hannah is so nice to other people. And Nick's parents talk about how much they love her and approve of her at the end of the meetup. Okay, y'all, so next we have Tyler and Ashley. And this is the part where Tyler is telling Ashley that he does have kids, and he never disclosed that until, I guess, today or maybe the night before. And Ashley is very shocked, because what? You had 10 days to tell me this in the pod, and you chose to tell me this when we go in the real world? You chose to tell me this after you proposed to me? Like, let's be so for real. And we're talking about kids every single day? Oh my gosh. Like, Tyler is so, the way he brought up this conversation was that he is saying that he is not like an active father. He was doing this person a service, kind of like a sperm donor situation, which we don't know the situation at hand. Based on the things that are coming out as we speak, there's certain things you don't do if you are only like a sperm donor or someone who's just helping out a friend. But I don't know. People do things different ways. I hope that Ashley does not marry this man. That's all I gotta say. Okay? This conversation was all that she needed to know, that he is a bow-faced lie. Right? That's all. At least take some time. Don't marry him on the show. Take some time to know who this man is really. All right, y'all, that is all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts and opinion and what you guys are thinking about the couples so far. Also, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank y'all again for watching, and I will see you in the sunrise. Bye.